Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for another live tarot session. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm so happy to be with you all. So, let's start by talking a little bit about today's astrology, just to get things underway. Because we do have some interesting energy, and we have some recurring energy, and it's a good way to set the scene. So, today we're seeing a return of a lot of this Gemini that we have been seeing across this week. So we have all of this Gemini placement. We have Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter in Gemini. So this is about pursuing communication, intellectual pursuits, really focusing in on this. This is such a huge, profound force at this time. It's a time for these new opportunities in these kind of ways, really seizing and going forward. You know, Jupiter's this energy of growth and expansion, right? It's the most powerful force in the room, the great defender, the largest source of gravity. Tapping into that energy, you can really transform and assert your power over your life, you know? So now is the time to take that reason and apply it to your life in a way that you can really expand that energy and grow beyond your current surroundings. And at the same time, with Venus and with Mercury, we have this deep ability for loving communication, right? For connection. Really, really, really profound. So much fun. So let's remember that as we're thinking about this whole reading going forward. Also, I want to talk a moment about the meditative energy I had from last night when I was thinking about setting up this stream. The image that came to me is a really profound image for me. It's the flight of Medea. If you look at the thumbnail, you can see there's a very famous like crater type of pottery where Medea is taking flight in a chariot and ascending to the stars and escaping. This is an incredibly important scene from the play Medea by Euripides. In that play, it is the final moment. It's the deus ex machina, the god in the machine, when literally the god Helios descends down as the chariot and saves Medea from her situation, right? Takes her out of the chaos, lifts her up into the heavens, and brings her, to safety. Eventually, she makes her way to Athens, where she finds love with King Aegeus. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So let's give a quick shout out to the chat here. So shout out to Hazel. Hi, thank you for saying hello. Thanks, Gandhi, for always being here. Shout out to Nikosmas, who's always here as well. Kari, lovely to see you. Sixtus, so great to see you. Tetragrammatron, yes, Hail Satan, great to see you. Stoic Dissension, so happy you're here. Thank you for saying hi. And if everyone could take a moment and just like and subscribe. Liking is the most important thing you can do for these type of live streams to really promote the content for the algorithm. It's kind of like what the algorithm chooses to focus on. So if you just give it a quick like, it makes actually a big difference. And it means a lot. And if you go into the description below, you'll see my email, and you can send me an email there and I'll get back to you. I did receive a few emails and they went into my spam. I don't know why, but it has been resolved. So, oops, sorry guys. It has been resolved. So if you send me an email now to snappydts@gmail.com, I will respond to you shortly. And if you're interested in a private reading, we can set one of those up. Apologies to anyone who was trying to reach me before. So, yeah, so we're talking about Medea, and we're talking about this energy of the flight, of the escape, and moving on to greater, more beautiful horizons, being saved. And this is that energy that I had feeling for today. That this is the opportunity, the key moment is also that like Medea seizes this, right? She escapes. She reaches out to Helios and gets the heck out of Dodge. So the energy I'm having here is that there's an opportunity, a golden path upon the horizon. And all around you, everything's on fire. But it's that comfortable fire of familiarity, a very dangerous fire. And the universe is telling us all to hitch a ride on that bright star Helios. Get the heck out of Dodge. Get the heck out of Dodge. You'll move on to greater love. Yeah, and as Gandhi says, with her children in the original, right? Like if you go back to the earliest myths, Medea is not as evil as she's depicted in Euripides, even though he's the most popular retelling of that story. He's only one retelling, right? But there's still something beautiful in all of these tellings, even in the violent depictions. These mythic images are greater than any single thing. And it's always about trying to understand that profound performance behind them and what's going on. Hi, Sappho, good to see you. So with this kind of image of Medea, it's like, and Jason, so much of it is if you spurn the goddess, if you refuse her help, if you cast her aside for another, after you called her out, you drew her down, you asked for everything. If you then spurn her and refuse, she will take everything from you. And that's the point of the Euripides story, is that Jason has everything removed from him. His family, his name, his legacy, and he's left alone and forgotten. Oof, scary stuff. But the energy for today is take flight. Take flight, embrace the now in your moment, this opportunity, the golden moment to move forward. Okay? So I wanted to bring out a new book for our sorties today. I'm going to do in the future a poll. I was looking into doing some polls, and I have to install. I use this program called StreamYard. Anyway, it's a little more tricky and involved than I thought it was going to be. So today we're just going to do two books that I choose. My first book I wanted to bring is some classic English literature, Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. Christopher Marlowe is a very interesting figure, a contemporary of Shakespeare, died young. Incredibly magical, incredibly powerful. This is a book that is often overlooked that people should read. Everyone reads Goethe's Faust, and Goethe's Faust is majestic. It's incredible, and it'll appear on here as a sorties, but this is equally as inspired, and if you have a chance, check it out. As always, with sorties, what it is it's a form of bibliomancy, divination by literature that was popularized within the Greco-Roman tradition. So what it's all about is drawing down the power of the muses and asking them for inspiration, to speak to you through text, to use text as a medium to impart wisdom. So I ask the muses for inspiration, and then we draw a page at random. And we use inspired literature, Dr. Faustus. All right, so muses, please guide us and tell us what we need to know and how we move forward. I have heard strange reports of thy knowledge in the black art, how that none in my empire, no in the whole world, can compare to thee for the rare effects of magic. They say thou hast a familiar spirit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. I have heard strange report of thy knowledge in the black art, how that none in my empire, no in the whole world, can compare thee for the rare effects of magic. They say thou hast a familiar spirit. I think the message here is to pay attention to yourselves. Often I think something that people are unaware of is the effect that magic can have upon their lives, and how they're engaging in magical practice without even being aware. Yes, a familiar spirit, Nikki. That kind of familiar spirit. So pay attention to your pets. Pay attention to your actions. I think a few of us here are delving into some of the more deep and dark places, doing that reflective magic, that inner hermit work, Their pets may have something to tell you. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, thanks, Marlo. Today we're also going to go back to the Psychic Bible by Genesis Peorage and her crew, the Temple of Psychic Youth. One of my favorite magical grimoires, beautiful book of essays, highly recommend it. Inspired literature for sure. So let's ask the muses. Muses, guide my hand. Please show us what message we need to know and to take and put in our lives and move forward. His aim in all his sorcery was to unite his spirit and hers. His aim in all his sorcery was to unite his spirit and hers. Wow. Wow, what a beautiful line. And it comes from this book, which is really profound because those of you who have been following along, the previous day, tarot, the message from the muse that I put as the title for the page was, "The Lovers is the only path across the abyss." And funny enough, that message was drawn via the sortes using this book. And then today we have pretty much the same exact message. His aim in all his sorcery was to reunite his spirit and hers. The point is that unification, reuniting. I think immediately of the Orphic hymns and Fani's, the divine intersexed being at the heart of creation that is ripped apart to become the unfolding of life eternal. Right? This is that great alchemical work to unite with your other, to find it through that love and connection, and through that love to transcend time and space. Wow. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you, Genesis and the Temple of Psychic Youth. What a incredible message from the muses. And thank you, muses. Amazing, amazing sortes today. Pay attention to your pets, okay? Maybe be careful of some darker magic. Could be dark, could be introspective, right? Black magic is black magic. It's the night. It doesn't have to be evil. Oh, yes. Now we're going to do a drawing from the fairies. This was a gift. This is not something I normally would purchase, but ever since I received this, I've been using it. I really connect to it and I love it. I feel fairy energy really profoundly. I believe it connects to a lot of different spirits throughout different cultures. These kind of entities that live with us but are just out of our realm of perception. And their influence is very profound. So let's ask the fairies to send us a message. What do we need to know? What is the message from the muses, fairies? Okay. Okay. Precious time. Beautiful card. So let me read it for you. The Fairy of Time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. A beautiful message, a beautiful message. This immediately makes me think of the goddess Rhea, right? That energy of time as flow, the unfolding of the river, right? The Saturnian mirror, right? The goddess version of that energy, that profound great mother, time in its ever expanding force, going out, the will of the universe eternal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it reminds you, your life is but a blip. It's but a moment in a trinity, a trillion of trillions, an infinity of infinities. Take it for what it is, precious. Experience it and embrace it. All of it. All right. Great to see you, Agreeable Gray Life. Thank you for coming. Oh, thanks, Karma. I'm glad you liked the deck. Good to see you, Justin Skeen. All right. Let's take a look here. Now we're going to start on the tarot proper. So, as always, I'm going to use my Thoth Tarot by Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. One of the most beautiful decks that I'm aware of. And we're going to use the Saturn Square. So the Saturn Square is a spread that invokes the energies of Saturn. Saturn is the great power of division, right? Time and its infinite points. The ability to dissect and separate and analyze and understand what's going on. So this is taking our lives and breaking it down flat into a cube, a square, exploring it and seeing what's going on. What do we need to do? What do we need to know? Where are the conflicts at? How do we overcome? So, muses, help us, guide our hand. Use that energy of Saturn. Give us the wisdom to see how we best move forward. So the first card is always the most important card for the Saturn Square. This is the center energy. Wow. There's a change in foundation. There's a transformation. Very fitting with that flight energy that I had. Okay, we're taking that leap. And it is bringing a physical transformation. This is a moving of homes, a creation of new businesses, a new approach, new dress. You know, this is physical transformation in the material world. Perfect first card. Yeah, perfect first card. Like profound energy. And we've been building up to this point. So this is now putting this into actual active practice. My old friends, oppression has been haunting us this week. It keeps coming up, this passionate energy, this lust, this desire, you know. I feel like there's these expectations, there's this, you know, there's this want, that there's this ache for something greater that is in the back of us, that is still gnawing at us, that's where there's this hesitancy that's coming from. You know, that's why there's that message of taking flight, because there's still this hesitancy. Everything's on fire, but we still have this expectation that things are going to go differently, things are going to go better, but don't want to repeat the same mistake again or you're going to get burned. Let's continue. And the key again is virtue. We've seen this pair show up a few times. Very interesting, powerful energies. And the point with the three of virtues, right? This is that Hecate trivia, shining a light, using our morality and our virtue to expose our surroundings, to take that power to transform and do good, right? To be virtuous. Very, very powerful, intense energy. Combined with that change and that oppression, right? This is, again, we're seeing that oppression is giving way. We're losing it. You know, we are moving and overcoming this addiction, this sense of security and familiarity, of refusal to change bad habits. We are doing the hard work. We are changing out of them. And it's through applying this virtuous moral lens to ourselves, right? It's about doing that reflective work and saying, okay, maybe it's my own fault I didn't get up at a normal time. Maybe it's my own fault I went to bed at an unreasonable time. You know, like sometimes virtue is just that. It's just holding yourself to account to do better for your own accord, you know? And this is about changing these things in our reality. And that's a real change, you know, setting a proper time when you wake up and go to bed and stuff. Let's see, where's this going? Funny that I'm talking about such simple things when we get the energy of a young person, right? Prince of Swords. This is that masculine energy, outward going, in the suit of swords, in that intellectual pursuit of air. It's showing up with this desire. It has all of this knowledge to share and this desire of knowledge to gain, but it's immature and it's reckless and it's cutting people. You know, we've all seen these kind of people. This is the young activist who's out to change the world and is a little too gung-ho. And reality is going to kick him in the teeth, and you just hope that they rebound stronger than ever, but with better focus. That's the thing with these kind of energies, right? There's so much hope and potential, right? This is a potential to grow, and it's about recognizing where we're falling short, right? How we're coming up immature. But it's interesting because in the previous deck, we saw that energy, or sorry, the previous day, we had that energy of the Knight of Swords, right? Which is the more mature version of this energy, more refined, more focused, able to save people, right? A knight versus a prince. You know, prince wishes to be a knight, but they're too privileged. They don't have enough experience yet, you know? So that's the energy here. Let's continue. What's happening on our right? Oh, wow, yeah. Devil energy. You know, devil energy is interesting energy, okay? On one hand, it is ambition. It is about ascending the mountain, achieving your material dreams, being that power, okay? Right? It's also about, you know, this Luciferian energy is interesting because it gives you what you want. It gives you the power of fire and says, have fun. It doesn't tell you about all the consequences or the potentials or any of the negativities. You have to figure that out for yourself, right? The devil energy is that energy of, well, you know, you could, there's also this. And it's up to you to figure out if it's good or bad. The devil is always about learning to balance dote and antidotes. And you got to be careful of falling into addiction and to prey to those things. But at the same time, it's also this mastery, you know? The devil is that master, the manipulator, the one on the top of the mountain. So in this sense, it's interesting when you get this young, immature energy, right? Because the devil can go either way, right? If you learn to dance with the devil, then you can, that's a quick way to upgrade to become a knight. But if you fall prey to the devil, that's a quick way to just stay put, bound in chains, right? See where this is going. Yeah, luxury. Interesting. So fours are always about that energy of balance, foundational connections, right? In the suit of cups, this is all about our emotions, our connections, our relationships, right? The luxury card, this is about those foundational relationships, those core loving relationships, right? The core people around you. So there is, you know, who's the devil in this situation? There's a question to be asked here, right? And there's two potentialities for this devil energy. Is it the close loved ones or is it the immature prince? Interesting, you know? And I'm getting the sense, thinking about this, you know, we've had all of this transformation, this growth and whatnot. What I'm seeing here is we're seeing the arrival of pitfalls again. Okay. Yesterday's reading was this huge boost in confidence. It's like a great energy and it was a sign of incredible rewards and things to come. But, you know, there are still traps along the way. There are still addictions to overcome. There is still, you know, potentially negative influence, you know, like these core kind of foundational relationships, right? These loving, solid foundations. They can be great, but you notice that the water doesn't go anywhere, right? It's a self-fulfillment. It's a cycle. It's stagnant, right? And being stagnant, it's not yet dark, but this energy, it can't just keep cycling into nothing. It has to grow. Everything has to grow and change, right? That's the message of the universe. That's the Great Mother's command. You must adapt. So this is a very potentially an energy of stagnation, of falling into bad routines, of not taking flight, right? Not taking that leap into change. Don't fall prey to your luxury and your comfort, even though you have that, like, it's amazing that we have this loving energy, but this loving energy sometimes tells you to stay put and that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Those bad things you keep doing, it's okay. You'll get over it eventually. Well, you got to get over it, right? Let's see. Where's the energy going? All right, on the bottom of our square, we have the Six of Swords. Six is really powerful energy. Oh, I just want to give a quick shout out. Hi, Mondo. Good to see you. All right. So 6, right, is the most balanced number in the suit in the set of 10, right? In the swords, this is our intellect at its most refined, our most balanced, our most sharp. This is perfected reason. This is us being able to see things clearly, dissect, and cut. So, wow, that's a really powerful energy to have in this particular reading. So let's see what's connected to this science. Amazing. Abundance. Wow. That's interesting, because what I'm seeing with the science, we're now moving from the 4 of cups with luxury, we're now cutting out 1. And we're moving to the 3. And we're cutting it out using our reason, right? This is about purging the relationships that don't fulfill you, all right? About looking at, maybe there is a couple people in your close proximity that they shouldn't be in your core. Maybe you connect to them, maybe you still love them, maybe they're still, around, but they can't be that foundation. When you're in the 3 energy, notice it's abundance, it's growth. The water is overflowing, it's pouring out. You have love to give and love to share, right? And its water is flowing back into itself. So this is about, sometimes you have to give up the luxury. You have to give up the privilege, those loving relationships. You have to trim that which is not working out of your life. Move away on to better things. Not in a negative way, in a reasoned, just responsible adult way. It's like we all had those high school friends who never grew up and still wanted to party. And you're like, no, that's this kind of energy. You can still call them friend, but I'm not going out on a Friday night. Sorry. Let's see where we're going. Wow. Drawing down the star. Profound magic. Wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. Desires made manifest. Connecting to that holy divine feminine, right? Feminine in its most abundant and most rewarding energy. Truly powerful. And it's connected to that reason, and it's connected to this abundance, right? You want your dreams, you want your reality, you want it to all happen. Cut out the bad energy, cut out the bad actors, okay? In loving, reasoned action. Focus on your desires and manifest them. Go out under the stars, draw them down, This is really, really powerful energy, right? And the last card of the deck is the last card of the spread is always this, really great finality. So, wow, the Star. Amazing. But we still have to overcome this addiction, this luxury, this privilege, right? These relationships that may not be horrible, but they certainly aren't helpful, Okay, let's I'm going to move my camera now so you can see the full spread, and then we're going to do the last couple readings. So we're going to start over here on the right. And you can just see all of the cards here. So much lovely energy. So our first one, starting in the middle, right? Oppression, 10 of Wands. Connected to that abundance and to this of the energy of the devil. This is interesting. So I'm seeing, right, there's a potential for this to go very dark, potentially, with such intense energy. But also there's so much abundance and love that's coming about, right? There's so much connection. It's about really what I'm seeing here. The key to this is to use the positive energy of the devil. The devil as that ambition of transforming your reality, of taking that flight, taking that leap, climbing the mountain, right? This can be extremely invigorating energy. And you can take that and you can connect with your lovers, connect with the people closest to you, connect with your community, right? And really bring in that abundance. We just have to be careful of this oppression and this lust. Really have to watch for addiction and poor routines. We got to break the routine and take action. You don't want to be bound in chains. You want to be the goat. Two sides of the same coin. Now we're going to go down the middle. So we have our central energy of change, right? Manifesting new material reality. And this is connected to science and to that energy of the prince. So I'm seeing us going through the slow, hard process of change. In the previous spread from yesterday, we had the Knight of Swords as our final, right? It came up in our bottom corner here. And that energy is now showing up as more materially realized, connected to the two. This is us embodying that in going through the hard work. You don't just become a knight. You have to try and you got to work at it. You got to learn. You got to do the hard work of swordsmanship. That's a skill. And it's going to require reasoned, logical action, embracing this kind of action pursuit. So this is a change. What I'm seeing also we had in the previous energy, right? We had that energy of the Hierophant. We had a shift from sort of a more feminine dominant force to a more masculine dominant force. We're seeing that masculine energy here still, and it's being reflected towards channeling this goddess energy, right? But what we're seeing now is that we need to shift our mind and do the action of actually like changing how we pursue things. Logic and reason is a very different way than, waiting for signs and looking for signs and waiting for the goddess to tell you to get up off your butt and do something. Like so many people in the magic stuff, and I am so guilty of this, where's the signs? What am I doing? I mean, I'm into divination. That should be obvious, right? So, but this is telling us, no. Abandon those. Now is not the time for signs. Now is the time for reasoned, calculated action, for physical change, right? You want to connect to this goddess. You want to manifest it. Sometimes, paradoxically, you're going to have to do that active, forceful thing. You're going to have to be that reason cutter. You're going to have to look at your situation. How do I do it? And do it. The text will tell you, the sources are clear. If you want to draw down the stars, there are instructions to follow. So this is about training, changing, transformation, growth, logic, and pursuit through action, into taking our will into the active world, right? That's how that masculine energy manifests. It's forceful and outward, right? Beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to do the final line here. 3, virtue. We had this energy last time. This is a really important energy, especially since it's contrasting with oppression. And we see it here connected to the luxury and to wish fulfillment. Again, this is acting you. Who are the people in your life? Who are the energies in your life? Who is a problem? Who is not? Right? You need to use your virtue. Trust it. Like, this is the thing. It's about integrity, and it's about maintaining a hard line. It's so hard with loving relationships, It's so hard with loving relationships, but we all have our lines. We all have the things, our axioms, our personal things that we have decided are intrinsic to us that we will not break. We all take Saturnian bounds in some way or some fashion, and this is an energy of holding yourself to that and saying, if someone is chaotic, maybe, you let them go, right? Because luxury is not virtuous, right? Luxury is not virtuous. Luxury is meant to be shared. We're meant to be living in a sort of a harmony for the most part. Luxury can exist for time and for place, and but if you're truly trying to apply this virtuous action, you have to take this energy and share it, right? And that's a really important thing to think on in this. Maybe there's an energy of someone who isn't being reciprocal. And we see, right, connected to wish fulfillment and drawing down the stars, and connecting to that goddess, to that love, right? There's a personal integrity here that's key to this energy, and pursuing the path in the way that you are meant to pursue the path. I feel very strongly that each of us has our own individual path that we're meant to go in this life, that the universe is an experiential machine designed to create intelligence, designed to force us through experience, through lifetime after lifetime, to make us evolve and to reform and to regrow until we can finally come together in love and harmony. And this is about doing that work. If you really want to draw down the goddess, you got to do that hard work of self-reflection and trying and love. And virtue is a key here. Okay. Oh, wow. This is really deeply profound when you start to look at the cross section. Okay, we're going to do this cross section here because, woof. When you get caught up in reading, sometimes you don't take a full step back and see the full picture until you make yourself see it. Venus in adoration of Dionysus. Or is it Dionysus in adoration of Venus? There's a change here happening. There's a change here. There's a focus. There's a shift, right? This is a Dionysian, satanic, materialistic energy that is giving way to a feminine drawing down of the star, a goddess energy. Wow. That's interesting. Oops, sorry, guys. Oh, wow. really interesting to see this. There's a shift in, and there's a shift in focus. There's a shift in degree. There's a shift in power. You know, I'm getting this profound sense, you know, the devil is very much deep, Bacchic, Saturnian type energy. Okay. I'm getting the sense that there was this reflection going into the self, a confrontation, a facing, and a dealing with a lot of negativity and overcoming of addiction and overcoming of ego. So much of this dark energy had to be confronted here, right? And this is what the ascent of the mountain is about, right? It's overcoming the material filth and rising above to ascend to the stars. These cards are so intrinsic to one another, right? The goat rises the mountain to be placed upon the stars. There's a deep connection and transformation at work here. Wow. So this is that energy of Addis, right? Of going through the divine imitation and drawing down the mother through physical transformation. Wow. This is all about embodying that priestess energy in full and really, really refining yourself through the power of reason. I love it, love it, love it, love it so much. Wow, guys. What an intense but powerful reading. Very much a continuation of what we've been seeing, but sort of a clear picture is starting to emerge. You know, there is a deep transformation underway happening and a shift in focus. And it's interesting because on one hand, it's like a more masculine outward approach, okay, where the energy is being directed in a willed way to the world, to trying to put yourself out there, right? But then on the other hand, there's a shift away from the more Saturnian, masculine, refined hermit kind of energy, this oppression energy, this stagnant energy, and there's a physical transformation that's into this more feminine energy. So we're seeing kind of like a yin and yang flip. Very, very, very interesting that we have this here too. So this is Dode and Antidote. This is about balancing these forces, coming into harmony, coming into that change, right? Really learning to embody one, but not forget the other, right? It's Bacchus in adoration of Venus. These energies are intrinsic and are needed. And it makes me think of the Hermetic axiom also. This has been something that's just been haunting me lately. The whole idea that that which is above is the same as that which is below, right? The devil is also the goddess. And with that, we're going to say, Hail Satan. Peace and love, everyone. So let's take a look and do another. What time is it? Do I have time? Oh my gosh. All right. So we got a little bit of time left. I'm going to do one more sortes from Marlowe, and then we're going to end the stream. And I hope to see you guys over at Lady Babylon. So just want to give a shout out to Chewy and to Kata. Great to see you. I want to also shout out Grandis Utu. Great to see you. So wonderful to have you guys all in the chat. Shout out to Ruby. Amazing. All right. Much love. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have? Muses from Dr. Faustus. Okay. Hast thou, as erst I did command, conducted me within the walls of Rome? Hast thou, as erst I did command, conducted me within the walls of Rome? This is a really esoteric one. This is getting some deep, deep. What the muse is sending me about this is looking to Rome, right? In the command of Rome. Hast thou erst I did command, conducted me within the walls of Rome? I immediately think of the Great Mother enshrouded within the walls of Rome, right? A story that keeps coming up for me in the last few days is, well, not a story, but a hymn, the hymn to the Mother of All Gods by Julian, Emperor Julian. And in that, he tells of a story where they take the goddess, the eidolon of Cybele, from Pergamum in Anatolia, and they bring it to Rome, and they drag it. The high priestess comes out, and she drags this idol up the Tiber River with the power of the mother and installs it at the Vatican Hill. So this is interesting. Commanded from within the walls of Rome. That's the Great Mother. Wow. The message. Pay attention sometimes within these empire shifts, right? Within these power, there is an underlying current, you know. The Great Mother's will has been unfolding for an infinite infinity. And these are but blips. There's always a plan in motion, even if you don't think there is. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. This has been so much fun. Peace and love. And I hope to see you all again tomorrow when we do another live tarot session. All right. Take care, everyone.